Hey,
The
welcome.
Cloud Talk Show's back. This is like we're doing sort of like a take two because we weren't sure how this was going to start. However, my screen is being shared right now, so folks, if you're here, you probably saw something different in the way we came to the site. In fact, we're looking at this right now. Last week we were talking about behind the scenes, and check it out. Look at this. Remember, you've seen this before, where they had their own thumbnails built in. Actually, no, there was no thumbnails before. Before it was just said Cloud Talk. There's the thing. All right, whatever. Then here's Raquel trying out something different. Check it out, thumbnails, right? Then came this. Meanwhile, what is going on here? So I'm gonna play this over here. Let's go see what this looks like. Oh, look. We gotta turn it down. All right, volume down. There we go. Share. We got a share button. And I see it clicky. Oh, no, that's clickies for a little more. Holy smokes. There we go. How's that? Wow, that's like really way down.
Oh, trust me, it sounds a lot better.
Wow. Holy smokes. Okay, so we got something over here. Look at this. When I go over here, I see this. Cloud Talk Show. This begins soon. All right, so let's go ahead and find. And now they have this new preview feature, by the way. There's a hold feature, but I'm not going to touch that one over here. Let's go ahead and move in a little bit, and let's go to the. Hey, Larry, look.
Yes,
the gears are turning.
See that.
The gears
are turning.
It was one of our first requests a long time ago. It's like, so it's no more the go pieces over here. Oh, look, music got more. It's the Waka music. I think I had like the original.
So let me just say hello. Hey, how's it going? So remember we were talking about this. The avatars weren't working last time, and I kept trying to make it work.
Captions.
Turn it back down.
Okay, let's turn this down. We have captions over here. In fact, let me put that on mute for now. We have captions.
Yes.
Right, and then here we are. I'm still in the caption mode. Let me get back and see when I appear. And then we are showing a video of a video of a video.
There you go.
Raquel over there in the video of the video that we're showing of the video.
The video that we're showing.
Mind blown.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. So far, we're checking out all the parts. We're gonna do this. And by the way, no AI was involved, or no AI was injured in the process of these of this information over here. All hail our robot masters. Let's see how it ends. Here we go. 1 second. Thank you. This is our first absolute YouTube premiere, and we'll go. By the way, this is happening while we're recording this. This is actually the premiere right now, and you're probably watching this. Here we go.
Thank you for tuning into this Cloud Talk Show premiere. This has been a behind-the-scenes episode for our YouTube viewers. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you can stay tuned for all the latest cloud tech news with Ralph and Larry.
Now she gets voice credit. Now she gets voice credit. Oh, the bill just went up there, Larry.
Oh, and
I understand.
I forgot to say comment.
And forgot. There'll be an update to the next one, I suppose.
I'll put comment.
All right.
So let's go see over here what we got. So we have so this stuff is still a little bit the same. We had this from before. So chill. We had that and scene.
Yeah, I can change that too.
No, that's okay.
That's all good.
I mean, all that stuff we can look at and stuff like that. So far, so good. This means that if you're going to do this again, how much work would you have to do? Probably maybe you want to fix that audio in the back because that was the behind the scenes one. So the next one will probably be a normal because we're doing our normal podcast because we're going to be talking about cloud stuff. Right now, we're taking this first segment is to talk about business of the site, which is why we're here and why you're seeing what you're seeing. Yes, Raquel? So is that the case now? How hard is it to put together this video we're doing right now?
So 7 hours. 7 hours on that one.
Yeah, well, she did a lot of stuff in the beginning and the end, the thumbnails and all that stuff.
So since it was a 40-minute video, it technically it took 9. There was a few after, You saw 7 in there. I did a little 7 hours, but the captions took quite a while because they were kind of messing up. It could not detect my name and certain words. But it was decently effective. I think it's worth having them in. I just have to, watch them over again to make sure they're correct.
So here's the thing. You can see right now we're taking transcripts on this side. So if you click on the Teams menu and it'll say language and speech, you'll see there's or record and transcribe. You'll see transcripts and stuff. One of these over here. So I'm going to send you this transcript file, and maybe this will be better. Because so far I'm looking at it, and it seems to be, this AI master seems to be a little bit okay. Or maybe not. I'm looking at this one. So if you click on Teams menu, and it'll say a language and Peach. Peach, what's that? I'm not looking at this. I spoke too soon. Apparently, it is not so. It is not so helpful. We'll figure that out. So we'll have to decide on that, on the closed captioning piece. But the closed captioning. You see how we have closed captioning here as a choice?
Right, but what we had before, what we have on the video, the premiere, the closed captioning is built into the video itself.
It's built into the video
we still
itself.
Are using the closed captioning that you turned on just then. The thank you, that is from the AIs of the AI of YouTube overlords.
So there's the question.
Yes. It was actually, so I've been using CapCut recently for editing. So it was actually CapCut's AI for captions. But sadly, it's a premium feature to have it exported and put into, like, say, YouTube. But so I just stuck it in and left it there.
Overlaid.
Got it.
Yeah.
Overlay. Okay, overlaid. I see what you did. Okay. So now we know. So maybe if we decide going forward, I'm going to say we're going to try the next one without the captions and see how well the AI does. And then, because we've never done it before, so we get a chance to try something different. All right. So on the next time, we'll save some time and some money and not have the captions put in at that particular time, because maybe we'll get you the premium version of it. Maybe they might do that. So another case for premium. So speaking of premium, this is almost a segue to some of the next pieces that we're going to talk to a little bit over here. Let's see. So Raquel, by the way, great job. Applause.
Okay.
Okay.
So Mr. Ralph, I'm sorry, my friend. I see something in your list of sites that you have connected over there. I see a black X.
A black X.
Down in the bottom left-hand corner. What is that?
Black X. Black
what
X.
Is that? Is that what we're going to be talking about?
That used to be the Boyd. That was one of the things we were going to talk about, the Boyd. Yes, the Boyd has changed. The Boyd is no longer the Boyd. The Boyd is X. X marks the spot. The problem is it's also X as in exit stage left. I don't know. You can come out and figure out where you're going to go over here.
It's a I think this is a situation where someone moved the cheese for all the people that had built a community around it, and
this is a serious.
Now if you are a brand, I mean the whole deal, basically holding brand names hostage is an odd flex.
I understand that some other people have used X before in the brand, so we'll see how that actually goes.
Yeah, there's that too. But I mean, so
I'm trying to go to my account and I can't go to my. I used to be able to click up here on my name and go to my person over here, and now what? Why can't why won't it go to me anymore? Is it home? No, that's not. How do I go to my person? What the heck? Profile. Yes. So I guess now. All right.
Now profile.
Before it used to be quick. I see my picture, click, and I'm there. And now I got to do this. Oh, by the way. So speaking of stuff that you post on the Bird, or what used to be the Bird. So do we? It's not tweeted. Is it seeded now? Exceeded.
I don't know.
Xed. I X'd you the other day, but you didn't answer. It's like, I don't know, man. It's going to get bad really fast. But anyways, I did. Hey, speaking of our robot masters, and maybe he should think about at least putting it up to the robot masters, see if it'll, give him a comment back.
Yes.
Just saying. I got this. And you can too, by the way. The AI Skills Challenge. That's on the Microsoft side. I don't know if you've tried that. Have you tried the Skills Challenge yet?
I have not tried the Skills Challenge. Maybe I should and get a badge.
In fact, you could get a badge too. You can get a badge. All of you can get a badge. And here's what's great. On the Microsoft side, they have these things every so often. I'm pretty sure the other ones will have something similar. I'm not going to put anyone down over here. I'm going to put their AI Skills Challenge. See what comes up and check it out. And it's something like this. After something like an Ignite or a Build, Inspire, and all of those, they usually have a skills challenge of some sort. And it'll be like maybe Azure Skills Challenge, or it could be a low-code skill challenge, or it could be coding, or it could be a use skill challenge. And the concept is you pick one of these topics. And this is why this applies to you, sir. Because check it out. Machine learning.
Yes.
Over here. Cognitive services, Azure, right? Machine learning and MLOps, and machine learning operations challenge. And I did this one, the AI Builder, which is the low-code version of it. So that's my badge. Is
nice.
This thing in particular. Couple of things
I will have to check it out.
I will recommend, and up here is the link, and we're going to post the link over here into we're going to post it into our chat, but we're definitely going to want to post this link into or maybe will be up on the screen. However we get there, we're going to make sure this link is posted up there. This is still good till the middle of August. How long does it take to actually run it? I will say that usually when you go to these things, it'll give you an idea. For example, we want to do the cognitive challenge. Let's go see that. All right. It tells you we got 16 days left in the challenge, how it works, right? And then it says who's completed it, frequently asked questions. How do I compete? How do I start this challenge? In fact, it's like, how long is this challenge is really the question. Is there a question on that? How long does it take? So the idea, of course, perhaps if I follow how it works, we go to, I think I have to start the challenge in order to find out how it works. Let me go see if.
The first module. Yeah.
Yes. So let me go back to my piece right over here. Let's go back. Okay. Oh, it opened up a new window. So let me go to my challenge originally. And I see my completed collection. See all my modules. I have 18 modules. It's all complete. And look, you're going to get to something like this. Items in this collection. And check it out. They tell you exactly how much time they take. I'm going to say, yes, those times are actually accurate, only if the information inside that you're actually learning is the same as what you're actually using. And I'll tell you why. Remember, we just talked about, in fact, that was our segue from our Mr. X who moved the cheese. The cheese has been moved on some of this stuff in a hugely significant way in literally the last 2 months alone. The items over here for example, business cards and all these pieces that are over here are completely different than the interface. So I'll just go to this one, to the extract business card piece. And it's like this. It tells you what your module is going to be like. Right. And then you start going, and so start with the introduction, and it's showing you what it looks like, and we're going to follow through. And there's the business card reader. It's showing, look, it says there, like, it's like a drop-down AI builder. That's not the same off the bat. It's somewhere else. It's not here. Because it says insert menu in the AI builder bar. There is no AI builder bar. It doesn't need it. It's actually in a much nicer place, and more visible, but it's not the same.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Mr. Ralph, if you go up to the top of this page, is it one that you can click on edit? Is it, in other words, is it in their GitHub, or is it not? Because some of their coursework, some of their training material is actually done and open source, in an open source fashion, so that it's in GitHub. So now it's just reporting an issue here. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting though.
There used to be an edit. There used to be anyone can come in here and edit anything, and it's not there anymore. Right. I can add this to my Canvas app or whatever, but
you can't create a pull request against it.
You can't create a pull request anymore. But if you know where it is in GitHub, which by the way is not hard to find, you can go ahead and do it from there. But essentially what it's saying is for your day-to-day user, they don't want the day-to-day user to have that ability to go in and get crazy with the stuff. Because what they were finding is when people were putting in information, they were sort of mucking about, or worse, there were people who knew enough to be dangerous and put like, the tag codes that would make the text go nuts when they go on the other side. They're like, you know what? How about use this? How about report an issue?
Yeah.
Right. And then you'll say the content this, and then you give feedback and submit the form. And they have an automation now that takes that and creates all those pieces into there and creates the issue and do all that stuff. But that's behind the scenes.
Well, but see, again, unfortunately, exposing any of this type of stuff to the general public, there's always the option of a DDoS attack, right? Denial of service.
Clearly, at least when you have something like a web like that, where someone could go in and DOS and attack it, even that, I mean, we're now talking Surface. That's a Surface page. I think it's now well-known practice and patterns on how to deal with a DOS attack on a page that says click here to do something. I think that's they've figured that part out. So I don't think we're going to have an issue here. But remember, that thing took us here. Here's the troubleshooting thing that says, hey, it might say these are your problems, blah blah blah, and everything else. But usually, my biggest problem again is that the content does not match
out of date
documentation. That is my biggest issue for, in fact, a whole slew of these. There's a lot of them that are the same. For example, I'll give you an idea. The Power Platform, the Power Virtual Agents ones are pretty much the same for what you're going to do. However, because of the new Copilot abilities and everything else, a lot of the things that you would do in those courses are almost obsolete. Why would you go in there and manually point at a website and bring in potential topics to pick from, and then have to muck with them and then individually change specific things just so you can get it to work on it? And then, of course, it's low code. You make the change. You can't really save it if you didn't do it right, or if you broke it, because you can break it, and apparently, like by putting in like a logic that doesn't make sense. You have to go back in there and fix it. There's not exactly a version control that's going to help you get back. The new version is called Universal Code. That means I can right-click and get like a JSON for it, and I could save it to Azure or bring it back into Power Virtual Agents, back and forth, back and forth. More importantly, because it's code, that means that as a, I don't know, DevOps person, I might be able to look at it and do some verification, some checking, some testing your logics off, because I can see.
Do versioning. Oh my goodness.
Versioning, all that good stuff. Right.
Be able to promote it to different environments. Oh,
right. Because only the core training on how to do it is there. But because that's there, it sort of makes it like, why would you core train on something that you wouldn't really touch? But anyway, so that's the we're looking at that particular one as we see the challenge, detecting objects. But this is just the AI builder piece over here, and some of them, I'm going to say that actually. All of these were able to work in some way, shape, or form. In some cases, though, it's the case of like it's a totally different control that has totally different parameters. And then it's going in and bringing in a piece of information and not explaining what's in that information that's going to make it work. So I'll give you an example. Let me find a good example over here. Maybe with process receipts. Let's find a good one. Identify key phrases. Let's see if this is the one over here. Let me go see build a Power Automate. Yes, okay, this is a good one. Oh, that's where you check your knowledge. Okay, so you'll see how it is. Sometimes there's no pictures. That's my other complaint about this. I liked it when there were pictures, but when it does stuff like this, I know why they do it, because they change the interface. So if you make a picture, God damn it, you gotta update it and stuff. But this menus could also change, right? They may not necessarily be the same. In fact, some of this is because you remember how like when we were doing test-driven programming?
Yes.
I create a test, right? And this is what's supposed to happen. I break it. If I move the cheese, guess what? I broke my test.
You broke your test. That's right.
So test-driven stuff, it'll force me to go back and look at the test. Otherwise, I'm going to break something.
So here's the thing. Here's the fun part. Here's the next step, right? Because at this point, we're going downhill pedaling on a bicycle. The training is not keeping up with the app itself because the app is changing so quickly.
Exactly.
You know, if you're going downhill pedaling on a bicycle, at some point you're going to have to stop pedaling because it's not going to be doing you any good because you're going faster than your little feet can travel. But in this case, what we need to do is add another layer. We need to have a gear that we can shift into so that these pictures, these images are actually captured by our tests. And the training material here is generated as opposed to being built. So it's generated from the material that's coming out of our tests.
So they're able to do that for the regular documentation. When we go back to the regular documentation, it's mostly spot and it's mostly on point. It's the learning documentation that's harder because learning, how do you say it? You can't just like say, here's documentation, you can learn from it. It's almost like you're going to need the AI powers to say, I need to convert this, and this will be the prompt, right? Convert this doc into something that I can train a user who has just started learning how to use Power Platform. Because otherwise it will create something that's going to look pretty much just like the same documentation, but in different spots.
Well, see, here's what we could do though. We could give it, you know, like the paragraph that says click here, 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 and here. We can tell it, we can give it a prompt. We can say, hey, AI, this button moved from here to here. Rewrite this paragraph using the new location of the button.
Yes.
So anyway.
So I'm gonna show you. So I'm going to demonstrate this right here, and
perfect.
And you'll see how it goes. So by the way, my user group next week, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to go deeper into these Power Apps challenges for those who are watching this maybe and want to take a look. But otherwise, I am posting it online so people can see it. All right, so here it is. A lot of this stuff looks different than the original pieces over here. But if I go over here, I'm working on AI Builder stuff. So here's under AI models. We saw the instruction. This instruction said, choose a document type for what you're trying to do. And let's go ahead and let me see if I can put these instructions side by side real quick. So build your first model. Sign into AI Builder. Go to Power Automate or Power Apps, sign in. Okay. And then the left pane, click on AI Builder, Explore. All right. Left pane. Let's go see that.
Nope. Wrong one again.
What happened to it? Let me go find it again.
Minimize them.
Many windows. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Left pane. AI Builder. Nope. Look at that.
Nope.
What's it
AI
called?
models.
Oh, okay. First difference, right? That should have been a straightforward one. And see, it's okay. Explore. Okay, so AI model. I don't even see Explore either.
Right.
All right. So so what does it say to do? I want to create an email. So I got to create. So here I am. I'm using my old man sense that I've seen this before. My cheese has been moved before. You learn how, when your cheese is moved a lot, you learn, right? That's how the mouse learns.
That's right.
You learn. It's like, oh, cheese moved again? Sniff, sniff.
New AI model. Okay.
New AI model. All right. So that makes sense. So what am I trying to do? Something to do with documents, probably, right? Because it doesn't even say what to do. Structured doc. So it's a structured document, unstructured document. Okay. So does it say what to choose? It says I'm going to get a choice of the two different document choices to get. So I choose document, structured document. Let's see.
No, that's structured data. I'm sorry. Yeah,
structured data, structured document. Okay, so extract information. So here's the thing. Now I get more choices because over here I only had two choices: structured, semi-structured, unstructured, freeform. So what do I got here? And now I have extract information from invoices and PDF documents from information from documents. This one seems like the custom. It's probably going to be a custom model, custom information. However, here's the thing. I went down a little bit as I'm looking through this, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute. We're going to do invoices. Really? How about I just click on extract information from invoices, and I'm a done deal." In other words, it's all ready to go.
It's already pre-built.
It's already pre-built. This whole lesson goes through every step of building it one step at a time
to build. Now, I could use this maybe for purchase orders.
Yes.
You know, if you change this to purchase orders, you don't have a purchase order one. I could probably change it. All right, because obviously the other one has invoices and all that stuff as a specific thing, so it makes sense. But okay, so take a look at, oh, so what's involved over here? So it involves documents. So take a look. I'm literally going to recreate. Oh, sorry, what happened? Extract information from invoices. Okay, we want to see, and oh, by the way, help us improve. Send feedback. Oh, don't move my cheese. That's the only feedback I send. It's like, you move my cheese again. So hold on a second. Let's go ahead. I can use a pre-built model in a flow in an app, ready to go. Or I can create a custom model of this. Okay. All right, so let's see what happens if I use a pre-built model in a flow. And that's what it is, right? It basically says, get from Dataverse, bring it into Outlook and everything else. All right, so that's actually not what I wanted to do. I can create a custom model.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that. Actually, okay, there it is. And check it out. See, it's got all these fields already ready to go. Yes. What information do you want? I got everything I want. Everything that was in that instruction is all here. The first thing that instruction tells me to do is go and add those fields. But if I add them, I literally have duplicates of those fields. Right. So let me go to next. I can go straight to next right here. Okay, and now I'm going to create a new collection. And I'm going to now get some documents for my new collection. So I just happen to have in my new collection, hopefully it won't, yes, in my downloads area, here's the AI Builder Lab, lab data. And is this object classification? Or maybe it's not lab data. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
It might be someplace different. Here we go. Document processing data sample. Here we go. Invoices. So I'm going to add Contoso. And I'm going to get the training data. And I add them all.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Uploading my document. And here's upload them all. By the way, 5 documents minimum. That's the first thing you learn. It's going to ask you in the test. But I don't even know if that's true anymore. Maybe it is. All right, there we go. Done. All right, I'm going to add another collection. And this collection, I'm going to add the other company. The whole point of AI, by the way, the more data you give it to learn from, the smarter it becomes. And in the same time, depending on what the data is, too much data can also make it not so smart or dumb. Because if you get like
it can start, they call it hallucinations. Right? It can actually start hallucinating.
It starts thinking that, oh, you must be looking at this because it looks exactly like something else. One of those examples came up when you're doing image recognition, so it happens a lot. So let's go and get a data over here. I'm just going to open it, select all of them, right, and go ahead and take a look. It's going to do this fast. There we go. Upload it. Mind you, this is happening fast. So you see there's 2 different styles of invoices. I can actually go through them all now. And the next thing to do basically is over here is to start tagging, because this was the old step that used to take forever for these kind of things. Here we go. We're going to tag fields. So I got to review all these documents.
And now it's going to take its...
Check it out.
Check.
And you look at it.
It's going to take a guess.
This is good. I like this. Take a guess. Let's take a look. This is a good guess. So far, so good. Because it was all pre-built. Now, all that stuff I would have had to build. I would have been selecting this list items and going through each item, selecting all of these individually. Because right now I have no choice, but I have to go visit each of these documents at least one, and at least look at them. Okay, so there's my first collection is done. Okay, and now I go back. Let's go look at my second collection. And let's see how it did. But hey, looks like it found it.
Looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. I'm going to say that the training materials are probably used for their testing. So it's probably going to be really good just on the principle. Or you know what? And actually sometimes not. You know, the training people are completely different. They're a completely different part of the world, completely different team. They don't even talk to each other. And I see that we are all in. I can go ahead and click on next.
and I see it over there. And now I can say, go ahead and train. This, by the way, won't take too long. Your model is training. While it's training, I'd like to just show you what the, so I've taken it further. As I begin to discover the nuances and differences, I can now do this on my own. And I actually, the act, you know, as they say, you learn more when things are broken. The fact that the stuff didn't match made me learn more because I had to deep dive and ask questions and look into this stuff and see that in more detail, for example. Right. So I was able to create something like this. Check this out. I made a little Power BI, ChatGPT engine for introductions and stuff. All it took was for me to add basically a Power Automate things, because I couldn't use in the instructions. By the way, it showed like add generative ChatGPT. Now there's the case of the instructions being ahead of the application. I didn't even have that feature. The instructions showed me something that I didn't have yet. What? How am I supposed to do this? Oh, then someone said, you need to preview for that. But I don't have that yet. But you have the instructions done. Now they're ahead. Oops. So how did we used to do it? Well, the way I remember having to use it, it's like I know I was able to make it in a Power Automate, a flow to do it.
Right.
So I created a flow. So let's go look at my little flow over here. This is not the flow, but that's just another app that calls up the thing. Let's look at the flow. Here we go. Not PVA all the way. PVA all the way again. Somewhere here I have the flow. Well, I'll find it this way. It's called Make an Intro. Right, there's Make an Intro right here. All right. So I had to make a flow, and I go in. Let me go into edit mode so you can see what I did while we're waiting for the model to be trained. I'm just showing you this is the beauty of low code is that you actually have to code. What? Ralph, did you say that? I did. Hold on. Can I edit, please? Edit with the designer. Sorry. It didn't want to guess. By the way, there's the AI designer over here. This sort of, I'm not going to say invasive. I'm going to say it black boxes it too much. I want to be able to see what I did naturally. The first thing I did was I created a Power Apps V2 thing. I could have done I followed their instructions, which said use Power Apps, not Power Apps V2. And here's what you got to do. And it had all these extra steps. And I said, wait a minute, wasn't there an easier way to do this? And then I remembered hearing a blog, because again, using my brain, I heard a blog where you can just put it in. So I selected this. Oh, great. I can just make a thing and an input. All right, that's easy. Right. And then I had to do this, the AI piece. In the documentation they have, it's called Dataverse ChatGPT.
Gotcha.
Right. And this thing, so it didn't match. It's the same thing. And it had other stuff in here besides this. It had entity to point to and all that stuff. Really? Why do I need to know that? This was easier. I created the prompt, and then all I did was insert these things
your variables.
My variables. And all I did was simply return a variable. In 1, 2, 3, I made this thing work. So let me go ahead and play this over here. I'm going to hit the refresh over there. So I'm going to say who? I'm going to say, let's see, Lawrence Smithmeyer. Okay, and then we're going to say in the style of the Spanish Matador. I just made up a list.
There we go.
Right, and his occupation is what occupation would you like? Would you like to be a near-do-well?
Oh, an astronaut. Just go ahead and
let's make you an astronaut. Okay, we're going to make you an astronaut. We're going to make an intro. By the way, underneath the covers, I put there. This is an intro to the Queen. Okay.
Okay.
You don't see that, but that's what it is. So I say, make my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Lawrence Smithmeyer, a daring astronaut. His courage and ambition knows no bounds as he has ventured into the unknown depths of space. You've been there? Really? The unknown depths? His bravery and skill have earned him admiration of many, and is a true testament to the power of the human spirit. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. What's with all that, blah, 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 talking all about it here? Let's go see what I did over here. Check this out. Here's my prompt. Create an introduction to a person named intro, whose occupation is occupation. The introduction is being made to the Queen, and the announcer style would be as style. And the introduction should make this person exciting. I added that. The introduction should be no longer than a paragraph. I could say the introduction should take a page. In other words, it'll probably go on and explain all your exploits and probably make up stuff.
Absolutely.
But dude,
It'll
I did that
hallucinate a little bit. That's okay.
You just saw that in minutes, and it took me minutes actually to put together. I spent more time cleaning up and doing a few things with the controls and all this stuff. But this was coding, if you think about it. In some cases,
Yes.
creating the prompt. Because here's like, well, I'll show
Yes.
you the another version of this. All right.
Prompt
Here
engineering is hard. I mean, here's
prompt engineering going straight to the GPT engine. All right.
Mhm.
So that one was fine because that one has a connector that points straight to GPT. It just goes straight there, and it essentially is going outside and talking to the wild woolly internet to bring that information into place. But you know,
Yes.
a lot of clients and our customers, right? That's the thing that they don't like about this, right? It's like we don't go out. Our stuff stays in. Our stuff stays closed. Financial companies, medical, all that stuff. You can't. That's the first no-no of ever. This will never ever be wait a minute, you're showing us how to do it in other ways? Yes, Ralph, we're showing you another way. Okay, here we go. So I'm doing Power Virtual Agents, which is a chatbot. This particular chatbot will take information. Now I have to do manual steps. Remember how I had Virtual Agents 2 and I just put in some things? Here's the manual way that I had to do it before. I had to initialize variable. Sounds so cool and codey, right? So for all the low code, they use really developer-y stuff. So warning about low code for our citizen developers. Yeah, we're essentially on a secret mission to turn you into developers, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because
we will teach you all this good stuff over here. All right.
If you want to do something more than just the hello world, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves a little bit and get your hands
Or you'll
dirty.
be doing what I did over here, which is copy paste somebody else's work and then go ahead and try to find a little thing you're going to change. So the low code is you copy pasted this from somebody, or the developer who actually created the real thing gave you this and check this out. So this is an engine wherein it's like this is the prompt. Your Shakespearean writing assistant. It's telling the writing assistant who's sending out the message that you're doing this, right? So you're acting in the role of assistant, and it's saying here's how you speak, right? And it's saying the role of the user says essentially write a short text turning down an invitation to dinner. Essentially, if somehow the user asks to have dinner or anything like that, it's going to deal with it. The assistant will say, regretfully, I must decline.
Yes.
Underneath is an engine. All right, that actually takes this. And here's some of the JSON-y pieces over here. There's the role. Here's the content, by the way, coming in from the user.
The request coming in from before.
Things like the temperature. The temperature is sort of like it's from 0 to 1. It's sort of like whether you're creative or balanced or precise and all that stuff when you're coming in through.
Mm-hmm.
The top P, essentially, it's like for things that you want to like not repeat yourself too much. If you lower that, it's going to repeat a lot. Right? Frequency penalty is the other one similar to that. I mean, how many times do you answer the same thing? And I put 0. We don't care. Presence penalty, we don't care. Max tokens is, they call it tokens. But you know what they mean? They mean letters. Come on. Why do you call it tokens? How about max char or whatever? No, someone said token. Because they're a developer. Stop. No, of course. Nulls are evil except when developers use them. Right?
Right.
Here was the call. Check this out. So we created our own demo thing. In other words, this is an engine that's inside itself, has no connection to the internet whatsoever. This is happening inside of Azure. This is what you do, Larry. You would go into Azure.
Yes.
You would create your OpenAI piece in there. You'd bring in your libraries. You do all your stuff. You'd create your large language model and do all the rigmarole tweaks that would make sure that it would do things like maybe prevent healthcare questions, PII requests, or focus and answer people in a certain way and deal with certain questions in a certain way, regardless of what it says here in the prompt.
And I'm sorry, one thing that we will want to do is blur your API key.
The API key is going to expire today, so not a problem.
Okay,
but
not a problem.
Raquel, if you see this, let's mark this time. Mark the time, Raquel. Come back over here.
Yeah, where it says API key in the header.
Okay, so just make a mark and say, now this was good that we were not live. All right, so everyone now who's seeing this is like, I'm making where Larry's making a point of it, and we've just made it the point we're going to block it. We're probably going to keep the text in there and not edit it out, just so you know that we did it. All right, so here's another variable, and I could have given these proper names because that's another thing that I do. I like giving these things names. So we're getting the response back. It's a string. All right. But now I got to deal with, okay, if the status is 200, what our web people, what does 200 mean? 200 means response is good. It means it's okay. Is it bad? A bad answer? A good answer?
Yeah.
No judgment. I simply got an answer, as opposed to no. Check out my variable for no. Pardon my transgressions, my lord, but you may wish to try it again. Essentially, 500 error, 400 error, 300, you name it.
Right.
There. But now comes the fun part. You see this over here? You see the schema? Holy crap.
Oh.
How did you know what that schema was? You know what I had to do to find this? I essentially ran this. It showed me the output. I went back in here. I put their generate from sample, threw in the response in there, and it gave me this.
Gotcha.
Really cool. But otherwise, this is code. To know this structure, to know that way, that this is how OpenAI works. What if you're using a different engine, Ralph? Yes, it will be different, right? And now I set the variable back, and all I'm doing is, and I'm making a really cool expression, because we got to have expression parsing to JSON. So this is the part where I asked the AI, can you give me an expression that takes the message and brings in the content out of that and puts it in the body. Okay, great. And then return the message to the agent. Okay, so let's go see this in operation really quick. So what I did was I created an app, and I attached the chatbot to it. This is actually really easy to do. So I went over here and I said, insert, see that chatbot preview? And that's it. I just dropped it in. It's ready to go. So I'm connected to that bot. So I'm going to say, where can I take Larry for lunch in Milan? How about that? Okay. I'm just asking.
Okay.
Hark! If thou art seeking a spot for lunch in Milan, take thy friend Larry. May I suggest a few options? First, there's a charming restaurant. By the way, these are real places. Sartoria del Nuevo Marcello. And by the way, it's the engine. It's like, and you can see this. Are you connected to the internet to get this information? Right? I don't trust you. I'm asking. So anyways, by the way, upscale, it's Michelin starred. I'm using machine learning algorithms. Aha. There we go. So in this particular case, it got the information from the internet for that particular information, but it's blocking everything else. Will you join us for dinner? See what it says. But you see how that said over there? Okay, that was not in Shakespearean English, because that was the other engine underneath had an answer for exactly that question.
Yes.
I must humbly decline. Remember that piece that we saw over there? But that's an instant chatbot on side of an app, and that happened in what? Literally, I dragged and dropped it, pointed to the chatbot, and ready to go. Let's go. By the way, let's go see what happened to our engine over here.
Far right.
Engine number 9. Let's go see it. Did we have it up here somewhere? Got to go find it.
Yeah, I think it's the very last one.
The very last one. Far right.
Keep going.
Here. There we go. Oh, it's done. All right. So I can do a quick test now. Look at that, 99% accuracy. All right. It has reporting and all that stuff. It says I can right away make an app for this by clicking on one of these.
Right.
Right. But let's go ahead and quick test it. And it says drag and drop or upload from my device. So I'm going to bring in not the train data. I'm going to bring in the test data. There we go. I just happen to have one ready. Here it goes. Analyzing. Ta-da, there we go. And it looks like it did a good job. It found all the information. If I bring it into an app, I have all kinds of controls that say highlight over this, hover, get information, drag the information, so I can do it in an app. If I did it in the flow, the reason I'd probably do it in the flow is I'm going to pass the information as a data flow over. So think about this.
Right.
I get a whole bunch of invoices. I'm running them through the scanner, right? The scanner has that little HP thingy that sends the email off to an inbox. The inbox receives the document. And when inbox is received, open this up, use this, process the information. And if it's 99% or 100% accuracy, let it go through or put it through an approval process for somebody to go view and see. If, for example, I get something and it came through, but I can see that the value for the invoice is 0, or the information about the address is blank or something, it'll be in my exception report, and everything else where the information is complete, straight through, process.
Yeah. And so really what we're talking about is this is just one new piece, one new layer on the onion that we're making for our document flows, right? We can add another layer that does extra validation at the end, and either, you know, add another flow where the output of this capture goes into that flow where we determine whether it is a reasonable amount, right? You said 0. Well, right. If we get an invoice for $1 million, I think that would probably be a problem as well.
Exactly, and we would put in the rules for it. We can even let ChatGPT come up with the rules for it, because it can learn from the items and actually give us on its own what it feels are the exceptions beyond what we put in. I'm going to do one last thing to do here.
All right.
I'm going to save this really quick and say okay. So I'm going to show you guys how this actually works. It's real easy. I'm just going to create an app off the bat, just a blank app over here, and wow, I can make blank. I'm just going to make a blank one because I can actually make it off anything. I'm going to make a phone app, and we're going to say the blog maker. I'm going to Instablog Maker. All right, it's the Instablog Maker. Okay, here we go. Instablog Maker. I'm going to put it right in, because you might have seen as I was scrolling back, it was one of the first things I was doing. Before I made the intro maker, I made the blog maker. So here's the blog maker. First, I have to turn on the features, unfortunately, because this stuff is still previewy, or like they don't want to scare people.
Gotcha.
You got to go in and turn on pieces. So I'm just going to say, just turn everything on, whatever. Turn them all on. Upcoming features. I'm bleeding edge. Give it to me. All right, there we go. So now I go plus right over here, and I will look for. It's in modern mode because I selected that. I'm going to go to my inputs, and I will look for the chatbot preview. Here we go. Bring it in, and now it's going to point to. Aha. Oh, wait a minute. So that's interesting. I just discovered something. My Make-A-Blog guy is not published. So let's go here. I have to publish him. Let's go see. I should have a publish on here. Let me go into edit mode. Should have a publish. Edit with Designer. Duh. I keep forgetting that they added that little extra piece over here. So I hit save. All right. So actually, I think here's the reason. You see, look at this. You see this little error over here? Check it out.
Yes.
ChatGPT doesn't have a content approval section in it. Microsoft added this rule. If you're going to get information from the GPT, you need to approve it. You can't just let somebody think that this is actually okay. You need to put an approval step. So it's a warning, though. It's not a you can't use it. It's a warning to you that you're letting ChatGPT write content that could change the world or affect somebody's life. But click on it and be done. Right. So that's why it doesn't publish automatically. So I go back to Make-A-Blog since I saved it. And let me go back to my flows over here and go find this flow, Make-A-Blog. And I'm going to here and publish.
So that's make an intro.
I don't think it's share.
That's a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one over here. Hold on a second. Save as, save a copy. No, it should have been here. So let me go take a look really quick. Let's go back to it. Let's refresh. Oh, because this is a chatbot. Sorry, I did the wrong thing. That was a flow, right? I said it was a flow. So let me go bring it in, and I made it a flow. That's right. So I'm going to create. I'm going to add a flow. Here we go. And there's my Make-A-Blog.
There we go.
So I'm going to first add a button in the text. All right. Let's put in a text label. I'm gonna say in there blog idea. A blog idea. That's it. Blog idea. Okay. I'm going to bring in a input, text input, and put that right over here. And I'll just leave it as is. I'm going to put in another big text box over here with the data right over here. All right, and then we're going to just put it in a button, okay? It's going to show up over here. Let's go ahead and add a button.
I'm doing all the worst practices. You're supposed to like do these things properly in order, give them names, and it's just going to say button. All right. So how does this work? I go into here, and I brought in that piece right over here. I just go into here, and on select, when it clicks, first I'm going to call up the thing. It's called make a blog. Make a blog. Make a blog.run. All right, and it's going to say the prompt. There we go. And the prompt is the text input. There's my text input. Text input. There we go. Text input dot text. Yep, there we go. All right, so there we go. That's correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into a variable. Set. I'm going to say cblog. And hopefully it will do a piece of text for me. Right. Okay. And then now we're going to do this, and we're going to say this is equal to cblog. Check it out. It's able to figure it out right off the bat. It's a data type record. Oh, so this is interesting. Cblog. Let's go see this. Let's see cblog here. Remote cblog dot. Blog text. Was that cool? That it
very nice.
Pretty much what the error was. All right, so ready to go? Here we go. So we're going to go in here. Let's put it. Let's going to put there. I'm going to put there. Dancing with sharks and manta rays. Okay, but
okay.
Nope. I should have probably made this the text fit.
Yep. You had some scrolly issues.
Yeah, I have scrolly issues for sure. Imagine yourself in the middle of an ocean surrounded by majestic sharks and manta rays. Wait, it wrote a blog.
It did.
Check it out. I need to put scrolly bars and all that stuff, but it wrote this blog about dancing with sharks and manta rays, and I just. So let's look under the covers really quick at that particular item. How did I prompt it? So usually the key to that is what did you prompt it with? Let's go take a look at that. Make a blog, and let's go and edit. Let's edit with the designer again so we can see it in its glory. Come on, this is the last thing we're going to talk about over here. All right, so you see this? The prompt. Create a blog post in the topic. The blog should energize and motivate the audience.
There you go.
Are you motivated to dance with sharks and manta rays?
Absolutely.
The blog post should be less than one page.
Right? There we go.
And the response body, get the data
comes back and pulls it in.
And Steam. And I just made an app, and that's a tab. That was a phone app. All I had to do was clean up, put the trolleys, and do all that other stuff. And I have a phone app. My Instablog, I could publish that because you can now put the app as an actual PVA, PWA, and distribute it to people potentially. Or I mean, but that was the ChatGPT, so I didn't need to do it in Power Apps. I could have done it as an app, an actual mobile app, right? Same thing. I talk to the GPT API. I pass the credentials. I get back the credentials. I mungally parse the credentials and give you your answer.
Very cool. And amazingly easy to build out an app. Very cool.
All right. So, anyways, that was our show today. So it's Ralph showing off why he got the AI Builder badge. So that's what that helped me get the AI Builder badge. The fact that I was able to navigate the stuff that didn't quite match, because that was the biggest deal out of it all. Once I got past it, and then it actually makes you repeat some of the steps over and over, and you get muscle memory. And because I got muscle memory, I did all that, by the way, with no hands, right? I was like, I made little mistakes here and there. So wait a minute, why didn't the blog work? Oh yeah, blog.text. All those little things is called muscle memory, which is why we got to get back to our Code Wars one day.
We need to get back to that.
We need to get back to our dojos. Well, that's it.
We went over, but we're good. Thank you all.
We went over in our time over here, but you won't notice out there when you watch this on the premiere next time. All right. So hey, we'll see you guys next time. And you want to do our? We're gonna slide out. We slide out. Forget it.
Thank you for tuning into this Cloud Talk Show premiere. This has been another of many episodes of our show. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you can stay tuned for all the latest cloud tech news with Ralph and Larry. We'll see you next time.